y'all, this is Marley K. Hope y'all are well. Got a story for you from Euro Weekly, and it is about the digital passports that are being rolled out in Europe. You know, if they're in Europe and adopted and accepted by other nations, eventually it will be here. So, the EU and WHO planning for introduction of the digital vaccine passport. The European Union and the World Health Organization met in Geneva last week to discuss how to combat any future pandemics, which means it's about time for the next one to come. I reckon by fall we'll have it. After the Rona debacle, almost every corner of the world came to a standstill in 2020 when Rona forced the majority of countries into nationwide lockdowns, restricting people to the number of times they could go outside and interact with others. There were several other rules, including restrictions on certain products, including toilet rolls, which everyone widely accepted for a long period of time as the threat of the virus appeared very serious from the portrayal within the media. However, once the lollipops were rolled out, restrictions were eased, and people could mix with so many people from another household once again. But beneath the surface, it wasn't as simple as that. So the EU and the organization that makes the owl sound planning for future panties. This is because people were required to have a lollipop passport to show they had been stuck, and this also applied to going on holidays abroad and getting into certain pubs and restaurants, which caused forms of controversy. These didn't last long, and soon enough, people and businesses grew tired of how time consuming it was to scan barcodes for every person that entered the premises. 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 I guess that's correct. However, some may have to get used to this once again after another panic breaks out. Digital vaccine passports to become a reality. This is because the EU and WHO have been discussing the possibility of having a way of generating digital vaccine passports in preparation for another panic that may occur out of the blue. This is seemingly to ensure that the government can control and be aware of how many people get lollipopped and also which sort of lollipops they are having when it comes to who is most likely to transmit any potential groups in the future. According to the organization that makes the owl sound, the introduction of such digital vaccine passports will help mobility and allow people to keep traveling around the world and in their home countries, even if such a thing was to be unleashed in the future. So, the other story I want to share with you before I go is a story I saw on Barron's. And so, here it says the EU moves towards digital visas. So, EU member states and lawmakers on Tuesday agreed on how to change the current Schengen visa system so it becomes largely digital with no need to get a sticker in a passport. The new law, which will come into force once formally adopted, which from my understanding is very soon if it hasn't already been adopted, will all I can't remember if the passport, I think the passport has already been adopted and introduced as of this month, and I don't know about the visa, but one of these are already enacted. So it said would allow most people needing a visa for visits to the European Union to apply online rather than turning up at a consulate or visa service office. Applicants would find the process easier, cheaper, and faster. They always got a reason for you giving up your freedoms. The lead MEP on the issue, Matjas Nimick, said Sweden Migration Minister Maria Malmer Stenergard, whose country holds the rotating EU presidency, said the change also increases the security of the Schengen area by, for example, reducing the risk of falsification and theft of the visa sticker. The Schengen area encompasses almost 27 EU member countries except Cyprus, Ireland, Bulgaria, and Romania. The latter two are meant to join in the future. The European Union also allows free access for citizens from more than 60 countries outside of the bloc. At the moment, visitors who do not need a visa to obtain a Schengen sticker for their passport. But with the establishment of EU databases to help monitor entries and exits, overstays, and security checks at the bloc's external borders, the visa system has marched steadily towards digitalization. Some countries, such as Australia, already have similar systems in place where the online visa is linked to a traveler's passport without the need for a sticker in it. Using these systems, applicants can upload required documents and pay the processing fees. Under the EU's incoming system, first-time applicants for a Schengen visa or those with a new passport or changed biometric data may still need to attend an in-person appointment at a consulate or visa office. So I wanted to share those two stories with you so you can get an idea of what's happening in Europe. Y'all know the pilgrim nations, the Gentile nations are going into this first, and then they're coming here. A lot of stuff is happening in a lot of large cities, so you really need to pay attention to your local legislation. If you live in a place like New York, New Jersey, California, places with a lot of immigrants, and just a bunch of people outside of the South. Um, you really need to pay attention to what's happening because a lot of this stuff that's happening in Europe is because they're like one big body. But, each state here has their own legislation, governing bodies. So while they may try to do something nationally, a lot of states might buck it, so you may need to pay attention to your state. Not may, you should pay attention to any legislation that your state is rolling out. Be on top of it, understand what's going on, even locally. Go through your local laws for the last couple of years, see what was passed, see what has been introduced, see what's been tabled. If they have, the stuff online, go through. A lot of the stuff is public record. You can just go online and search through the minutes, look at old videos. You're gonna have to do some work so you'll know what's going on in your particular area. And if you see any legislation that's proposed in your area, you want to talk about it, share it, please send it to me at marleykastiredofracism@gmail.com or leave me a link in the description, or a note, where I can find the information so that I can go and research it. But I can't really, it's just it's so much. It's too much for one person to do. So if you're interested in what's going on in your state or region, it would be really good for you to, search your local and state legislation to find out what is being proposed and what's been passed, what's being tabled for a later date when nobody's looking. But this stuff is coming down the pipe and it doesn't look like there's much resistance. Like, no matter how much we talk about it, just people are just not really getting it. So um, it's happening really fast. And that's all I can say. Like, I just don't know how much longer we have. And I'm pretty sure they're going to take the internet down so that they can scrub it and put down anybody that is resistant. So if you can, please download videos, pull stuff from the internet, print it out, save it, because pages are going to be gone. Information is going to be gone. Even if you try to look at Google, I tried to look for these stories on Google. I couldn't find nothing. So they're already scrubbing the internet. They're already blocking stories. This stuff is out there, but you can't find it. So, outside of using a VPN and using alternative search engines, I recommend don't use Bing, don't use Google, don't use any of the mainstream major search engines for looking for anything related to this agenda, because you're not going to find a whole lot. So, but make sure you get what you can, get what you need, continue to prep, continue to pray. Do not be fearful. This is keeping watch update. That's what we do here. We keep watch. We are not afraid. We're just preparing and doing what we need to do to get ready for this transition, because it's going to happen. Too many people are asleep. Too many people are brainwashed, and too many people believe that we are crazy conspiracy theorists. So, um, shame on them. That's all I can say. uh, we got to do what we got to do. Only the strong are going to survive, and only the smart are going to survive. Everybody else going to catch hell, and I don't wish it on anybody. But I'm wiping my feet. Tell folks, don't even argue with them, and keep pushing, because when this thing all comes together, it's going to be ugly. Lastly, I've been reading a lot of reports about shortages coming. A lot of crops are bad, didn't grow because of drought, and I don't know if they got bad seeds or whatever, but a lot of reports about wheat and corn, barley, soybeans, things that a lot of the products that we use are made of. So if you can buy bread and flour and rice and different things while you can, because as this war kicks off in Europe, and then everybody starts closing the borders, we're going to have fewer exports. We're going to have fewer imports, and our exports are going to be down because of the weather, and we sell all our stuff to other people. So you're going to start seeing a lot of shortages probably late summer, early fall. So if you can, buy a lot of non-perishables. Don't try to buy nothing that you got to throw in your freezer. Buy canned stuff, and I know it's not good for you, but canned stuff, dry beans, get you some Mylar bags and some oxygen absorbers. Put that stuff away in 5-gallon buckets, or get you some of those little plastic bins from Walmart or Lowe's or the Dollar Tree, not Dollar Tree, I'm sorry, Dollar General, Family Dollar, to preserve your stuff, to keep bugs and things out, and to make sure your stuff stays okay. And put it in a cool, dry place so that when you need it, you'll have it. Get water, get purification tablets, get bleach tablets. Try to get things that'll help you save space, but get what you need, because the price of things are going to go up as people start panicking, and as these things get into position. You're just going to see gradual prices going up. And prices are not going to go back down. So whatever you see, don't be waiting on nothing to go down, because it's not going down. So do whatever you got to do to prepare for what's coming. And you also need to prepare for lockdowns, because apparently they're coming. And the lockdown that we have coming is going to be much worse than the one we had before. So you got to have everything you need in your home for when you lock down, and you need to not keep everything in your home in case them folks try to come take your stuff. Just saying. All right, y'all, this is Marley K. Please like this video, share it, and subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to my Odyssey and Rumble channels. In the event this channel is taken down, I'm on social media on Instagram and on Facebook. The links are in the description. Should I be taken down off social media, I will not be coming back. So Save a couple of videos so y'all can hear me and say, that crazy woman told me this was going to happen. Lastly, make sure you continue to pray, continue to prep, continue to seek the Most High daily. Ask for forgiveness for your sins of commission and sins of omission. There is no way we're going to get out of this without a supernatural divine intervention, because this world has fallen. People are walking zombies and we are led by demons. So we are in trouble, y'all. Just continue to pray though. Have faith, pray, and don't be afraid, because we don't need no low vibrational saints. We need them fighting saints who know how to war in the spirit, because we are fighting principalities. They might look like people, but they ain't people. All right, y'all. I am out.